Alright, 3, 2, 1. What is up, man?
The whole world really has a hunger for God.
Make Jesus always part of your hunger.
What is up, family?
I still like fam better.
I know.
Can
We have some viewers
We have one viewer.
who who's offended by the word fam.
Is she offended?
I don't
Is
know
it
if
like
she's
that
offended.
strong?
She dislikes,
Okay. That's valid.
highly dislikes the word fam.
That points.
Because family represents wholeness.
And the word is incomplete.
And the word is incomplete. Like, that's deep.
That's like how Bishop doesn't like sac, because it's short for sacramento, which is like sacramento, right? Like, that's not just any word. So maybe she's on to something. Should we change her name?
What is up, family? Well, our full name is Famished and Fed.
It is. Yeah.
The Famished, we sometimes short to fam because we talk about our families and.
It was shortage of IG handles. Like,
that's also true.
Fam and Fed is like a.
Fam and Fed is. Famished and Fed. Is a food blog, we think, but Fam and Fed.
Yeah.
Follow us.
I hope you can do that.
Yeah, that's gonna be odd if I don't have time to edit graphics into there. But hopefully that's there. Episode 2.
Episode
2 of Fam and Fed, Famished and Fed.
I appreciate finally winning an argument with you.
Wow, that's not the first argument you've won with me.
Well, it's ours.
Oh, we have a guest.
Oh, wow.
Come on in. I don't know.
So check this out.
Hi.
Hello. What's up?
Special delivery.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this was gonna happen.
I did. Come
you
on.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I asked Father Raj if we were going to have anything to eat, and we had just happened to eat earlier, and he said, "We just ate. No,
Yeah.
we're not going to have anything."
I didn't bring her food like I did last time. Tons of food I brought her last time.
So there's a bake sale right now where we are at the Newman
Look
Center,
at
and
this.
so
This is
here we
cool.
are. Thank you. We're going to pay for these.
Fruity
Only 2 though.
Fruity Pebble Rice Crispy Treats? Right. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Fruity Pebble Treats.
Fruity Pebble.
Because you
Crispy
can't call it
Treats.
Fruity Pebble Rice Crispy Treats because the other
That's
cereals
redundant. Yeah.
Rice Crispy.
Yeah.
Anyway, they smell really good. Actually, interestingly enough, we just had Fruity Pebble churros.
We're on a Fruity Pebble day.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not mad at
but
it.
that's exciting. Thanks for making that happen.
You're welcome.
I'm looking
Get
forward
you
to
friends that make things happen in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Get friends who bring you food. You know. That's okay. So we're just taking the 2. We're gonna give the rest of those back to the bake sale. Support your local bake sales. Support local. All right. But what we were talking about? So.
I don't know. You tell me.
Famished and Fed, episode 2. Last time I tried to push the issue that we were on episode 0 because it was a pilot and it was a test and part of that was rooted in comic books have issue number 0 for like origin stories and I'm a big comic book guy. But I've been convinced that we should have named our first episode 1. So officially this is episode 2 now. For those of you keeping score at home, Cecilia has won this argument.
Yes! Been waiting our whole friendship for this day.
You say that like that's so wrong.
It's because
You've won many an argument.
It's because you're usually right.
I don't know what to say to that.
Just take it.
No, we're
It's not untrue.
Well,
I'm not always the most rational of people. I admit that.
although sometimes when you're irrational, you win the arguments because
when I'm irrational,
I just let you. I'm just tired of it.
Is that really winning?
Well, anyway, friendship. Trying to help each other be better. More rational at times, more
virtuous.
More virtuous. But here we are, episode 2. We're on the brink of Lent here. We're in the season of of Carneval, right? Farewell to the flesh.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. People celebrating all that, right? For those of you who don't know, you know what Mardi Gras means.
Yeah, Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday. Mardi, like Martes.
It's like Marty.
Like Marty McFly.
I was like, what is he gonna say?
Mardi. It's the French. France. French.
Française.
Française.
France.
This is the country.
I know, but do they call it
No,
that?
I don't know. It's French for, I don't speak French, but I know a few words. Mardi Gras, French for Fat Tuesday.
There.
Go ahead, you.
Foie gras.
Foie gras. Yeah, gras is fat.
What
right?
is foie?
I don't know, is that liver or maybe the name of the bird? Because foie gras is like goose liver or duck liver.
I just got that.
So it might be fatty liver. Foie might be liver. We'd have to look at that up.
Anyway, sorry.
But gras means fat, like grease.
Yes.
So Fat Tuesday. Fat Tuesday is the day before Ash Wednesday. So many people celebrate, Mardi Gras or Carneval weeks before Lent begins, weeks before Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
As they're getting ready to say farewell to the flesh and they're getting ready to say goodbye to the fat, because Lent's coming up, Ash Wednesday. It's also known as Pancake Tuesday. Did you know that?
I don't know that if that's true. I don't.
You don't know if that's true?
I mean,
It used to be called Pancake Tuesday.
who called it that?
Because
Like,
people used to
Who
use
are
up
these
all
people? Like, comment below if you're one of them. Who called it that?
before, and I'm not going to get
When
into
can I get a
I'm not going to get
time?
into the total history. Yeah, actually, just most recent years, IHOP used to always have their International Pancake Day on Fat Tuesday, and they would give away free pancakes on that day. Because the tradition the tradition is that was the day you used up all your eggs and your butter before Lent began, right? But now they've done all their corporate strategies and all this stuff, and they just celebrate it on a random day that has nothing to do with Lent or Ash Wednesday. But
so International Pancake Day used to be Fat Tuesday, or just IHOPs?
No, just everyone used to call it Pancake Tuesday. It used to be called Pancake Tuesday.
I just feel like everyone is so.
Well, okay, not everyone, but it was a tradition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Not everyone.
Precision of language.
Because we don't. You're right. We don't. Not every country eats pancakes.
That. Okay.
All right, but that's where we find ourselves
Lent.
this season, getting ready for Lent. I am not ready for Lent at all. Are you ready for Lent?
I'm super not ready.
You're super not ready for Lent. I think a lot of us find ourselves in that situation before Lent begins every year. But we're here. I heard that you're doing something interesting for Lent. I've heard from a couple people, but
We're going there.
We're going there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, among other things, I'm gonna be doing keto actually for Lent.
All right.
The keto diet. You heard
Keto
of that?
I am not doing keto for Lent.
So my plan is to do the Latino version. So it's
what is that?
Un poquito de todo.
You get Spanish jokes. Or at every meal you could have un taquito.
Taquito.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other. No. Yeah. I wish that's what I was doing. No, I'm actually doing.
You're actually doing it. That's
I am in practice. I'm in practice rounds right now.
So I don't know if I've heard of it. I have some friends who practice it. We have a good friend, Father Jeremy, who is on keto right now. And so
he's like the keto success story.
Yeah, he's lost 20, 30 pounds
like
or something
lot.
Like that.
Yeah.
But
we have other friends. Irvin too did keto.
Sure. We've got some friends. Shout outs to y'all if you're watching.
Father J.
But it means less carbs, less sugar, right?
Like no sugar.
No sugar.
Less carbs and then more protein and more fat. Depending on what you're reading, there's actual percentages, and depending who you talk to, how they do it is different. But yeah, it's
So this right here, this is not keto.
It's absolutely not keto.
Because this is
that's
marshmallows.
Everything you should have
pure sugar.
For a keto diet.
So is this your farewell to this before Lent?
Well, so this is what's happening right now. I've been on.
I'm gonna eat this right now.
I'm gonna eat it too.
Oh, okay.
You don't worry.
I'm not tempting you.
Well, it's Ash Wednesday's next week, so this is again. I'm in practice rounds. So yeah, backstory to the keto thing. Father Jeremy decided to do keto, and when it comes to food, I just like eating what I want to eat. I don't really want restrictions. So we're having a conversation, we were having lunch, and I kind of we went to a restaurant with some friends, and I kind of went in on him. I'm so mean, but we had just opened the menus, and I was like, Can you eat that? Well, can you eat that? Oh, you should probably look that up. I bet you can't eat that. Like, I was just being super hostile for no reason because I need to grow in virtue. And I caught myself saying, I don't do food sacrifice. I, like, literally said that. And then, like, you know, the next day I was stuck in the horrible, like, traffic and, you know, thinking about my life. And for whatever reason, I remembered I said that. And then I flashed back to a moment in my life where I'd said something in reference to a completely different situation. But I said, you know, just when you think you've given it all to God, he shows you a part of your life you've not given to him yet. And that was it. I was like, oh my gosh, like how dare I say I don't sacrifice food.
And so you said, Lord, take my sugar, take my carbs.
I said, Brother Jay wrote a message and said, I'm doing keto for Lent. And I just wanted you to know that. And he said mic drop and that was it. And here we are. I've been practicing. And I've been watching.
You're practicing keto.
So this is the thing.
How do you practice keto?
You try to do it. And you don't do such a good job. But it's so hard. So, like, I have this problem where when I eat, like, I have to eat proportionately. And, like, I know everybody says they need to do that to an extent. I'm like, I cannot.
I mean, I think it's really rooted, and we've talked about this before. Both of us are Filipino. There is something deeply rooted in our food culture that rice must be proportionate to
whatever
ulam, which is like
meat.
the meat, whatever the
and
main
then
dish
I'm
is.
like, I need my you know, my pickled vegetables.
Yeah, sure.
I need my drink. I need all that to be in proportion. So when I thought of like I have to give up carbs, I'm like, why? I still feel that way right now.
What's the answer to that question?
Because if it's for penance, if it's for the Lord, I'll give it to him.
Oof. Preach.
Well, we'll see. Next week, we'll see what I get. I'm practicing. It was so hard, though, because I was, oh, man. And I'm the worst. See, this is the thing. We've done practice rounds, and I'm doing okay. Because, see, my spiritual father, Father Agustino, all of a sudden tells me he's on keto. And I'm like, what is that? Like, great. My best friend and my spiritual father, who are both priests, are doing this keto thing. Like, I can suck it up and get this done. But it's hard because, like, I like bread. And I don't really, I just like bread, I like pastries. And my thing, too, is sugar. Like, I feel like I am just a sweets person. Yeah. So I'm not doing keto to diet. Yeah. That, you know, I could lose some baby weight. But that's really not what this is about. Like, I just felt like I had kind of like a moment where I realized when I was younger, I used to, like, do Lent. Yeah. Like, me and Father Jeremy found our, like, old Lenten, like, accountability sheets.
That's cool. Which
are pretty cool. I don't know if we can post something here. You can do that. Wherever you put it. But, like, we would write down, like, okay, what were we doing for prayer? What were we doing for fasting? What were we doing for almsgiving? And, like, I saw it and I was like, oh, my gosh, like, I used to not do, like, one thing. I used to do, like, all these things. And really, like, live it. And then, so, you know, what happened to me was I got pregnant. And then I was like, well, I'm growing a baby. What better Lent is this, you know? So like, and I had like babies back to back. So like I was pregnant and then I was breastfeeding, raising a newborn, and then I was pregnant. So it was like, I didn't really have to do Lent the same way that I'm like, well, I don't have an excuse right now. Sure. Not that was an excuse. Because, oh my gosh, that's like the best Lent you can have. Yeah. But that being said, like that's not what I have now. And I'm like, gosh, I used to do all those things. Like I should probably like get back in penance mode, especially with everything happening in the church, and just so that's what I'm doing. Okay. And I don't know if I'm gonna regret this, and I apologize.
Well, we'll check back in episode 3 and episode 4. We'll see.
I apologize in advance to all the people who are gonna have to deal with the initial stages of keto, Cece, because I don't know how that. I might just become a recluse for the first couple of days.
There might be another term for that, not hangry, or you're gonna be like. You're going to be ketostrophic. Yeah. I
don't know what it's going to be, but I'm a little worried. I am, but I think it's going to be good. Like, even now that I'm practicing, I'm noticing, like, I'm being very intentional. Yeah. And I'm trying not to complain. See, because that's me. I'm like, I really wish I could have a donut with you all. It's like pity party for me. I'm like, okay.
But that's something important that you mentioned with those accountability lists. And I think in my own journey, I've discovered that having friends who journey with you, whether or not they're doing the same things you're doing, makes such a great difference in the desert,
Yeah.
right? Like, you imagine, it would have been very difficult for the chosen people, our Israeli brothers and sisters, to wander in the desert alone. But they did it together, right? And so I found great value in accountability. That word is hard today. Accountability partners for your Lenten practices, or people that you do your Lenten practices with, whether that's extra exercise, extra penance. Now, do you know anyone else is doing keto with you, or?
Well, I mean, like, they're doing it anyway.
They're doing it anyway.
So.
How's it gonna work in the house? The dynamic of
So
your kids?
Alan wants to do it too.
Okay.
So me and my husband, we're gonna do it together.
What about the kids? Mom.
See, that's what I was realizing. That's what's gonna be
I
hard.
want ice cream.
I'm not gonna put my kids on keto. Like,
Yeah.
what is that? But like,
You gotta watch them eat
so
their ice
yeah.
cream.
So even that happened to me today. Like, I'm trying to just wean myself slowly. So like, I was making breakfast, and then like, here on the counter is sitting. I don't know why, but there's 2 Halloween buckets sitting on my counter, and I don't know where they came from.
Oh man! And then you show up here, and there's a
bake
sale.
Like, okay, I know I haven't started, but like, I'm trying to like ease in, so it's not so much of a shock. But yeah, so like, my kids have all their stuff.
So you're not gonna do the typical Fat Tuesday thing.
I think I might die the next day if I did
if
that.
you binged on, you're not gonna binge on sugar.
I mean, I've thought about it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I just think I might literally die.
Wow.
Don't you? Like,
well,
can't your body can only take so much.
You're gonna go into diabetic shock.
I eat a lot of sugar. I eat a lot of sugar, and I'm realizing that now that I have to like give it up. So like, I did a keto day last Saturday during Friday. So like, I started off and it was practice, and I had I got through the whole day. Granted, I went to Chipotle, and then I ordered a keto-friendly meal, and then I ate it all, and I was so mad because I was still super hungry, right? It's like no carbs, so I was like hangry.
Yeah.
So then I made like a 4-egg omelet with like, it was good with like spit and stuff, and then at the end of all that, like, I was full. But see, like, I'm like, I need my ice cream at the end of the day.
I can't imagine.
So I
can never do keto.
I'm gonna try for the Lord. For his people,
I can never
for
do
my
it.
own sanctification. But so I'm sitting on my couch, and I look at Alan, and I'm like, can I just have some ice cream?
Yeah.
And he's just like, you've made it the whole day. Just go to sleep. Like, you just wanted to do one day. And I was like, but there's Rocky Road in the freezer right now.
And
but I went to sleep though. So try one for the Lord there. I went to sleep. I woke up and I had ice cream for breakfast.
Well, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
That's good. That's a good practice. And any of us struggling with virtue or trying to be better in that way, sometimes we just got to find practical ways to get out of it. But it's
not get out of it, but to work around it.
Or practical ways to avoid it, right? Go to sleep when you're.
Or to get out of it. I thought you meant get out of the.
No, out of the penance. No.
I was like.
Get out of the situation.
Yeah.
There speaks a beauty though in your cravings, right? We're not in Lent yet, but so we'll see what happens. But
I feel like I've started.
What'll that mean? Like, you craving these things, right? What are you gonna miss the most? Because I think about my own cravings during Lent. I'm not doing keto. I don't think I would ever do keto. The Lord may call me to it one day, and I won't answer. I don't know.
You're gonna have a moment tomorrow in prayer,
I might have
and
a
you're
moment,
gonna be like, Cece,
but see, like,
I'm doing it with you.
No, I don't think so. I give up meat for Lent, so that's all totally opposite of keto.
But you've done that how many years?
Yes, but that's, for me, there's such a deep symbolism in giving up meat for the entirety of Lent as farewell to the flesh.
You love your meat, so I won't give that.
And I do enjoy my meat and bacon and cheeseburgers and all that.
I can still eat that.
You can without the buns.
But I don't love it.
No. But I know what the cravings are for meat during the middle of Lent, so I'm looking forward to cravings. I'm not looking forward to those cravings. I'm looking forward to fulfilling those cravings at the end of Easter. That's a great joy for me.
Talk to me more about this looking forward to cravings thing, because what is that?
Well, it's a good spiritual practice. Like, honestly, in the many years that I've done the no meat thing, it's such a spiritual moment when you're sitting there craving something and you say to yourself, I wish I craved God this much. Right? Like, and there are moments when we do crave God that much, and so it just brings it full circle. So I think that's what Lent is. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what the Lord does with you in these cravings. I'm not ready. I'm gonna do meat again. I may do some more days of fasting, so we'll see how that goes. I may fast more on Friday, maybe do bread water fast or bread soup fast on Wednesday and Friday, but we'll see. And then some other spiritual practices, spiritual reading that I hope to take on. It's hard, like things I used to do in the seminary or things I used to do before I was a priest. It's hard just because the schedule is just not your own a lot anymore, which means it's an opportunity for greater sacrifice, but we will see.
Yeah. I'm doing Friar 40. Have you heard of Friar 40?
You're doing that too, huh?
Well, Father Agustino just made it up.
I heard about that. I've seen posts about Friar 40. Cool.
So
I have to read into it more, so maybe I might join you on that.
Yeah, well, so his whole thing, we were having this conversation at Red Lobster about how the lay people, the friars and anyone in religious life have a very regimented, prayer life, and their apostolates, their whole life, right, is centered around growing in holiness. And, the layperson, our lives aren't structured that way, but that doesn't mean that we're still not able to partake in those practices. Mm-hmm. So I had said something to him like, well, you're a friar, so of course you can do that. And his response to that was like, well, if as a layperson that's your mentality, then you've already convinced yourself that you can't do it, and that's why you can't do it. So let's look at ways of how an ordinary person who doesn't live a religious life as regimented and scheduled can still partake in these really good spiritual practices. So they're starting off, the first week is praying a daily rosary, which is something a practice I already have, but week by week they're going to add on things that are part of daily friar life. Throughout the 40 days. So I just thought that was a cool thing, and we had talked about it before he had launched it. So if you're interested, this is not sponsored, but Friar 40, check it out.
But if anybody wants to sponsor us, we are taking emails and phone calls.
Yeah, he is.
No, we're friends. We like to promote our friends here. We have no real clue what we're doing with Famished and Fed, but we always want to promote the good stuff, the good work that others are doing for the kingdom. So check out Friar 40.
Friar 40.
CFRs.
I think if you go to Corazon Puro NYC, which is one of Father Agustino's apostolates, you'll find all the information for Friar 40 on there.
Oh.
In English and Spanish.
I'll just put it up there.
I'm gonna get you a wand, because I feel like
this is Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them actually trace the actual path that the hands of those Disney Channel? They're really ugly. They don't look like Mickey Mouse,
really?
They're supposed to. If they trace really where the wand goes.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't paid that much attention. But I'm glad to know that you're attentive to detail.
Well, no, it's one of those internet things that I just learned.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. Well.
We're going to take a break?
We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Finish the rest of this Rice Krispie treat.
We'll be right back.
We're back. I finished my Fruity Pebble Treat.
I was talking.
Yeah, but it's delicious. Not keto.
It's super good.
Not keto, but it's super good.
I think I got a headache now.
So sweet. Sugar.
Maybe I'm already being weaned, huh?
Weaned off of the sugar.
It's working. My practice rounds. I told Father Raj earlier, I was joking with Father Agustino that I'm just practicing keto, and he was like, "That's great, practice. So when the big day comes, you're ready to go." And I was like, "Well, some people get benched.
Yeah.
Some people
practice
don't.
All their lives and they never play them again.
They never get to play. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. But that was hopeful. That felt a little sweet, and that's almost impossible for me for something to feel sweet.
Wow. Okay.
So progress.
Well, we were talking about Lent, and we know that it's usually a tough time for most people, a difficult time. So we thought we'd bring some levity to it and share some funny stories about Lent or our own practices. Maybe the Lord was trying to teach us stuff. So you, during the break, you were telling me about a story that you have of one Lenten practice you did.
Okay, so we have a friend named Angela. And so Angela and I went to college together. And Angela, every year, she would give up makeup and she would cut her hair. At least when we were in college. I don't know how long she did it before that, but anyway, she did that one year and I was like, that's legit. Like, I should totally do that. So the next year, I decided I'm going to chop off my hair. Now, mind you, I have nice hair. I'm not trying to toot my horn, but I have really nice, thick hair. I've always worn it long. Like, this is like the shortest it's been in a little while, but like, this is mom hair now. But before, I had like nice hair. I took really good care of it, and then I chopped it all off.
How short?
I mean, like, it was up to here. Like, I'm not joking.
Do we have pictures? Can we
I mean,
cut to a
yes,
photo?
you can cut to many photos, actually, of that Lent. And I'll show, like, right before that, I had my hair, like, I had a body wave done, so it was, like, wavy. Mm-hmm. So, like, it was long and wavy. Like, it was styling. Like, so I chopped it all off. And then it was great. I was like, oh, I have this short hair. And then I found benefit to it. Mm-hmm. Like, because before, when my hair was long, because it's so thick, it's super high maintenance. So it takes so much time to blow. This is all girl stuff, but to blow
it's not.
It's not?
It's not all girl stuff.
It's not.
I had long hair too.
Oh, that's right! Oh my god! Insert photo here!
Yeah, well, actually, interestingly enough,
I forgot about that.
I cut off my long hair on Fat Tuesday one year also.
Oh my
gosh. We can get to that photo maybe. But,
I forgot you had long hair.
Yeah, I also
okay,
I
so
did have long hair once, so not just a girl thing. I believe our Lord also had long hair, so. Father Jeremy right now currently has long hair.
Well, okay, so like it actually ended up because like I loved my hair, but it was like really time consuming, so I had time to do other things. So like that was like a really cool thing, but so like the problem in that was, Easter comes and then like your hair doesn't come back.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like that was
that's not
that was my big dilemma. And yes, I know like Lenten practices, part of it's like at the end of Lent, hopefully you've picked up, you've grown in virtue.
And they can echo forward to make you more detached.
You realize you don't need those things anymore, whatever you gave up, or whatever.
But like, as in, for me, on Easter, I always eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You could have just been like,
and for whatever reason, that didn't click until Easter. So like, I'm sitting there like, my hair's so short. Darn it! So I've never done that again. But it was good. It was good practice. I think like the giving up makeup thing was like, it was a really cool thing to do too. I did that one year too. Not the same year as the hair. I thought it was a little too much. But like they're little things, but I think like especially now for girls, like I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I think, and there's a tradition to that, right? A spiritual tradition to cutting off your hair or veiling, and we can see beauty in those kind of practices. So I'm glad you learned. I'm glad you grew that Lent. My Lenten stories, I got lots of like little ones that are funny, and I just think of when I first started doing the non-meat thing, and I would find every way to find more protein in my diet, peanut butter, all these other ways to
just peanut butter.
Yeah, pretty much just peanut butter. So I survive on
potatoes and peanut butter.
Well, potatoes aren't protein, but
no, but I mean like some steak and potatoes.
Peanut
butter potatoes.
Just a chunk of peanut butter. No, I get through lots of yogurts and peanut butter.
Is that
I don't know. Anyway, we'll probably cut this part out.
You think after so many years of this, you'd be better at the protein.
I do a lot of and
mushrooms,
seafood. Mushrooms, seafood, nuts, nut butters. That's what I do. But I used to not ease back in on Easter. So you're talking about oh, I wish my hair popped back to its original length. Well, sometimes the first couple of years on Easter, I would eat an entire 40 days worth of meat on Easter Sunday. And I don't know why it took a couple years to learn, but it was the worst thing for me to do. Like, I would go to Korean barbecue on Easter Sunday, and that's all you can eat. Or I'd go to like Cattleman's where they have like a 2-pound steak, and then for the rest of the octave, I would just be so sick. It's the worst. And so I know that. So for anyone that's thinking about doing no meat for Lent, there are better ways to ease in, like one cheeseburger, one plate at a Korean barbecue, one steak, not 2 pounds.
You've got the octave to spread out
Yeah,
the
you
joy.
yeah,
maybe
celebrate
a little bit.
well for the octave, right? Look forward to the octave, and you can even plan, you know, like, and get gradually
Yeah, like I'll have chicken today, I'll have pork tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'll have steak,
some bacon
bacon.
every day. I crave bacon. a lot
Okay.
during Lent. I
All
do.
right. Well,
I do. And then like there's bacon bits that are not meat. So I
whoa. But is that even bacon? We should have a bacon episode, but that's
we
a
will,
whole
yeah, well,
other
we're gonna have to do it after
can
Lent.
of worms.
We will do a bacon
We
episode.
have like a week
But no, yeah,
left.
exactly. It's not even bacon, but like I convinced myself that at least this is some like
Since it's not actually
at the
bacon.
seminary they would have the like, you know, the jar of bacon bits, and for Lent I would just, because it's not meat, I would convince myself.
What is it?
It's like tofu. I think seasoned tofu. We'll fact check that, but I think it's seasoned tofu.
Wait, is that
And
all
colored
bacon
red.
bits? All bacon bits?
Maybe with some flavoring.
I feel
But
like really deceived
or
right
I've
now.
deceived myself for the entire
I know, right?
for the last
You thought it wasn't
Because when I
meat.
was in the seminary, it would be like I'd have salad, you know, my dressing, and then like it would just be all red because I was
Yeah.
covered in bacon bits. Probably not the best way to go through the penance, but there are days, you know, when you're just like,
You
this
need
journey
something.
is tough, and then you gotta hit the craving somehow, or find a way to keep journeying forward. That's what it is, this journey that we're on. We're getting ready for this journey of Lent. 40 days.
I have
more
a
than that.
question.
Okay.
Okay, so we have this situation. I used to be a missionary in Honduras, and we had this situation. I don't know if you want to call it a situation, but you know, like we would do like home visits,
Mhm.
and we were always on mission during Holy Week. And there were multiple occasions when we would be on mission that, like on Fridays, families we'd go to eat a meal, and they would give us meat, right? And it was always like this big debate on the team, like, do we eat the meat? Do we not eat the meat? Like, this isn't like, there is no other option, or like these are people who've given from what they need.
Sacrifice.
Hey, they sacrificed so that they could give us this meat because they really want to share this meal with us. Like, do we eat it? You know, and there was never like, it was like divided. It was like some of us would eat the meat, some of us wouldn't eat the meat. I won't tell you what side I fell on, but I'm sure you could guess. But like, what do you think about that? Because I think that happens.
Yeah, it does happen. It
Or
happens
like, for example,
priests also.
Yeah, but like you give up meat,
Mhm.
right? And so you go to someone's house and it's a birthday or whatever, and like, it's all meat. And like, you know, in our culture, like, it's important. So it's like, okay, is this the teaching moment? Or is it like, well, they've really given of their time and this is what they've given us. So what do you think? Because I don't think there's a right or wrong on this, but I think hearing different opinions is helpful.
So to clarify one thing right off the bat, my personal practice of not eating meat during Lent is very different than a law that the church implements,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So that's one thing to make clear. So it's a personal practice that I abstain from meat for the entirety of Lent, and so it may be the case that there are times when I give up that practice out of charity, right? And so in those moments, it's my choice to discern, okay, what is the most loving thing to do in this moment. My stance on the thing with on Fridays of Lent is first of all, and this is not always possible, but love rarely is contained to the singular moment. If you think about, you know, families don't just, okay, I'm only gonna love you in the moment. No, there's preparation. There's foresight in the situations you're gonna find yourself in. So I think, firstly, if we know that it's a Friday, that love would dictate that, okay, you do what you need to do, inform, communicate. Love communicates with those that you're gonna be with. That, you know, it is a Friday of Lent, and we are called not to eat meat, and so to let them know beforehand. That would be kind of a preemptive, loving way of avoiding a difficult
I'd love
situation.
to go to California Fish Grill on Friday, right?
Yeah,
like,
or things,
suggest.
Or yeah, because we would do things in other situations. Say we're allergic to food, like a particular food. We know that would be unhealthy for us. We wouldn't just expect to show up someplace without warning them that, and then we wouldn't, out of charity, eat that is we're allergic to just out of charity. So we would normally inform them. So my thought is, if there's a way, and some people say this is a cop-out answer, but if there's a way to to minimize, to still meet the law of abstaining from meat, which everyone's called to. This is a common misconception. Everyone who's 14 years of older is called to. Even there's no upper limit on abstaining from meat. Mm-hmm. Some people say, "Oh, once I hit age 60, then senior citizens don't have to abstain from meat." No, 59 and younger, 16 to 59, have to fast. So 60-year-olds don't have to fast anymore. But the rule for abstaining from meat is for everyone who is 14 or older. When we think about abstaining from meat, similarly, we might find a way, if they've served it to us, to say, okay, I'm going to follow this law not to eat meat, and say, this is great. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Is it possible for us, we're not allowed to eat this today, but is it possible for us to take this home? And we'll cherish this gift of yours, your generosity, your charity, and it'll help us on our mission. But right now in this moment, because of the rules, or our faithfulness to the law, is it possible? So to communicate with them, even that means embarrassment on your own part. Maybe that's what the Lord's calling you to do. That's my answer to that question. To find the most loving way sometimes means to think outside the box and preemptive strike, and not strike, but preemptive like action, preemptive decision. So for me, I would not eat the meat.
I eat the meat.
I know you're going to say that. And we fall, and we cross a line on certain things.
One thing too is I feel like the situation. Again, I was a missionary. Sure. Like the situations were not your average. Like I went to dinner, and you know what I mean. Like we were in really remote places. We were in very, so
sure.
the facility to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, it's not like you're in the, yeah, it's not like you're in the suburbs where you're like, I can't eat this tonight. Is there anything else or something else? And they probably have something in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I have done that. What you would have done in other situations. I'm not always the meat eater when it's offered on Friday.
Yeah, I will offer it to children who are under 14. That's what I've done in other situations, right?
That's smart.
Children that don't have to abstain. You want an extra portion of this? I'll eat your vegetables today, or whatever. Like,
nice
not gonna eat the vegetables.
I'm a mom. I'm more thinking of like if my daughter did that, because she probably would. But anyway,
one day.
That's a good idea, though.
So
I hadn't thought of that, so that's
kids,
actually that's valid. Okay, another question.
All right.
The huge debate that I think has happened. This was never a thing when I was younger, and I don't know when it became a thing. Sundays of Lent, pass or no pass?
Oh yeah, so again, I think there's no written rule about it. I try to maintain my fast, my abstinence from meat for the entirety of Lent.
Okay. Except
for solemnities that aren't Sundays.
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph.
Annunciation is a solemnity.
It is, and if it falls in Lent, and then St. Patrick's in our diocese.
Yes.
Diocese Sacramento. St. Patrick is
so the 17th, the 19th.
Yeah, they're pretty close together. And then also because for whatever reason at our Chrism Mass, because it's on a Thursday always, with my brother priest, I'll if they're serving meat, I'll eat meat in celebration with them. But that's my own personal practice.
But where did that whole Sunday thing come from?
Because Sundays are mini Easters, right?
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So there's two ways you can land on it. Because Sundays are still solemnities, right? Mm-hmm. So some people will take break from Sundays. It's also Sundays are not technically counted in the 40 days, if you're counting the 40 days. So some people will look at that as in like we shouldn't, right? They'll quote scripture, don't fast when the bridegroom is here. Yeah. Which I think there's a truth there, and if that's what that's what your understanding is, or that's going to help you most grow, to take those mini breaks, those mini Easters along the way of Lent, then do that. But discern it well, talk to your spiritual director maybe, or see what's best in practice for you. I know some people who they have multiple practices, like you're saying, for Lent, and one of them they'll break during Sundays, right? The one thing I would say and this is where lots of people who maintain their practice all the way, even on Sundays during Lent. For instance, I had a friend two friends who gave each other up for Lent. They were dating, right? They gave each other up for Lent. That's maybe for another episode. They gave each other but they craved one another, right? Like in terms of relationship.
Like they missed each other.
They missed each other, right? Anyway, they gave each other for Lent, and it wouldn't have served much purpose if they got to see each other every Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So so for them, the practice was to grow in that craving for the entirety of Lent. It's similar why I do the meat thing for the entirety of Lent. And I think it's also why the church, even though there's solemnities, we fast or we abstain from things on Sundays still, right?
Yeah. Like
we still don't do the Alleluia, and we still don't do the Gloria. We save those for Easter. Or solemnities, right? Outside of Sunday. And so I think that's the reason lots of people go through the entirety of Lent, not doing the mini Easter thing. So
but
I think it's a personal practice. It's not a law.
Saying too, what I'm hearing is like there's an intention.
Exactly.
Right?
It's
like you
gotta
gotta think about it. Like, okay, maybe I don't have to, but it's really like, what is the practice of what I'm doing and how does that fit in? Because what I've seen is more of like cop out, you know?
Exactly.
All right, well, it's fine. Like, I literally know someone, like, she gave up candy, and I'm not talking about myself because it might sound like it was me, but like, she gave up candy, and then on Sundays, like, she would like binge it. Yeah, she's like throwing it in the air, you know, like.
And there's something valuable about that too.
It's still, there's a funny image.
Exactly. That's, you're reminding yourself of the joy. Oh, we're getting calls in? Call in. We got a question from a call. Our stage crew doesn't know how to turn off the phone, so she can keep ringing.
Press mute.
Press mute.
I've accidentally answered.
You know why? Because people don't know how to use phones anymore. It's
Swipe.
It just
it's not working.
Silent.
Did I accidentally answer? I don't know if I accidentally answered.
Oh my! Are you serious
I
right
don't
now?
know if
If you pick it up, it doesn't answer.
Okay.
If you pick it up, it doesn't answer. But there should
it's
be a
done
mute.
ringing. It should be.
Somebody else might have
What
answered.
is the mute button on this one?
It's when it comes.
It's one of the options on the screen on left and right.
No, that's not it.
No, it's not there right now because the call isn't there anymore. Maybe our post-credit scene.
Oh my gosh! He was like, they really don't know how to turn off the phone.
I can't find the mute button.
He's like hitting the side, trying to turn it off.
There's a mute button on the side. There's an off.
Siri. Oh. Okay. Anyway, so again, be intentional about it. If you're gonna celebrate because it's Easter, celebrate because it's a mini Easter, not cop out to get out of your penance. I think that's the most healthy spiritual practice in that way. With that being said, we're looking forward to journey with y'all during Lent. I'm looking forward to journey with you and hear your keto stories during Lent.
I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. We'll
I'm
go.
a lot nervous. But it's good. Look, I've got my snacks ready.
Okay, yeah. All right, what we
Now,
got?
if this isn't keto friendly, let me know in the comments below. But it says green pea snack crisps. Now, I think green peas, but they're not fried. Are these fried?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Oil is good. Fat is supposed to be good.
Oh, it has 16 carbohydrates.
Okay, I'm not sure.
That's high.
Let us know. Let Cecilia know in the comments if this is not keto friendly.
But I'm practicing.
Green peas. She's just practicing right now.
The fact that this isn't hot Cheetos is like that's already a big leap for humankind.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Anyway, we'll see you next time. Enjoy Lent. We'll be journeying with you and stay. What do we say?
Stay fed, fam.
Stay fed, fam.
No.
Stay hungry, fam. We say both, I think.
No. We say stay fed, fam. Like that. But like you say it in the way you say it.
No, you say it this time.
Oh, but I just said it. Alright, stay fed, fam.
What's wrong with it?
They're pretty good. They taste like chips.
Okay. Alright. So you can survive on this during Lent.
I know, but I really think it's 16 grams, and I think that's too high. I'm not lying, they were sweet. Someone out there? Thanks, Dave! I was trying to plug you. Can you do a thing?
There's a song about that, right? Crave by Mark Dorsey. I wake up to shadows. Okay, we're not gonna sing. Karaoke some other time. Mark Dorsey, I crave your touch. I crave your lips. Okay, I'm not gonna sing. Okay, I don't know why I went down that road.
I was gonna say insert track here, and then you
Yeah,
started
and
singing.
then, yeah,
so I mean, that's fine too.
Cut!